If you do a lot of work with tables in InDesign, then you'll be happy to hear that now header rows and footer rows are maintained after you update from linked Excel files. And if that sounds like a bunch of gibberish or it sounds vaguely familiar, let me recap what that's all about and then I'll show you how it works. First of all, you've always been able to import Excel spreadsheets like this simple one right here. You can just place that table data.excel file and then format that spreadsheet into a table. If you remember to turn on the linking option, link to imported spreadsheet and text files, which is an option in preferences, then when you place it, it becomes linked to the table that you format. So here you see we have a link to that table data, and that's why we have the little link badge here on our table. Let's zoom in a bit. So this is still all old news. And the beauty of linking to the Excel files, as any table person will tell you, is that when somebody updates that Excel file, the boss or the person in charge of updating all the data, and they save changes, then you're notified that your table is out of date. In the links panel is where you'd have to look in the old versions, and now that we have our link badges, we can see it right on the object. Now, the problem was that if you formatted your table correctly using cell styles and table styles, and you also had a header row, one of those rows that appear at the top of every table if it's threaded among multiple text frames, then when you would update the Excel file, you would lose the fact that this is a header row, and it would revert to really bad formatting because you actually have to select that row and specify that it's a header row from here, which it already is. All right, so we got that. We're clear on that? Now, the deal is that it doesn't happen anymore. Our header rows will be maintained after we update. Again, none of this works if you use local formatting to format everything. You have to remember to go to the Styles panel and create table styles. This is Materials table that uses cell styles, and all these have been formatted with cell styles. So as long as you're using a style-driven workflow, you'll be able to maintain all of this work even after you update the data. So let's try it out. I'm going to go to Excel. And let's change the day for fashion design to Tuesday and Thursday. And then I'll save my changes. And now let's go back to InDesign. And we see that it's out of date. I can click on the out of date badge with my selection tool. And the first time that you do this, you're going to get this warning that says, are you sure? Because you've made some changes to this data since you first imported it, and you're going to lose these edits with the exception of changes applied to spreadsheets through cell or table styles when you update. So you can ignore this if you've been using styles. Click yes. There it is. Nice and simple. All right, no brainer. You'll be able to move a little bit more quickly through your table updating by not having to constantly reapply header and footers to your tables in CS6.